Since the beginning of time, mankind has been experimenting with plants for medicinal purposes. Now, this medical library can only contain a fraction of the knowledge accumulated over the centuries. Digitalis, morphine, quinine, even aspirin. All of these common medicines are derived from plants. In fact, nearly 40% of medical prescriptions dispensed each year in our country are based on substances acquired from nature.
Well, the pharmaceutical industry does all kinds of things to come up with new medicines. They search the rainforest looking for bacteria and fungi. We look for the plant kingdom. There are things out in nature that are cures before us that we just have to figure out.
Linda McMahon, director of the Berry Botanic Garden in Portland, Oregon, calls plants little chemical warfare factories.
Plants make chemicals to protect themselves from bacteria, from viruses. They make chemicals to produce very bright colors that might be warning coloration. So there's just all kinds of chemicals that plants make for their own benefit. And the great thing for us is that we can be sort of the secondary beneficiary of some of these chemicals because they may be useful to us as well.
Scientists estimate that there are more than 250,000 different plant species on our Earth. So how does one know where to begin?
We can go first and look at the plants that were useful to native peoples, either here, in the Amazon basin, and other parts of the world, and see what chemicals those plants might have that could be useful. And sometimes it's very different from the use that the native peoples used it for.
One such plant is the rosy periwinkle, a species native to the island of Madagascar. Medicine derived from this plant has proven effective in saving the lives of children stricken with leukemia, like Jackie Buckley and 9-year-old Whitney Hare. Both of these children survived, but the native rosy periwinkle did not.
Today, 90% of all the forested area of Madagascar is destroyed. 100% of the native habitat of the rosy periwinkle is gone forever. Had that drug not been discovered, I'm certain my daughter and lots of other people who've had blood-related cancers would not be alive today.
What other undiscovered cures have been lost or may soon be squandered due to neglect, ignorance, or greed? Linda McMahon estimates that more than half of the rare and endangered plants in our country are related to plants of known medicinal use. And she, along with the staff of the Berry Botanic Garden, is taking steps to ensure that these plants don't disappear.
And what we do is we conserve seeds here in the seed bank as sort of a hedge against extinction. Both fire protection and protection for changes in humidity and temperature.
Inside a fireproof vault, packages of seeds line the shelves. Some are still drying out in this temperature and humidity controlled environment. Others are in boxes waiting to be counted and processed. And nearly 2 million seeds are stored in this freezer, representing over 250 rare and endangered species native to the Pacific Northwest.
The seeds are stored inside these metal foil packets, which are virtually impermeable to water, and at the temperature they're at, which is about the lowest setting for this freezer, they will be viable for 100, perhaps 200 or 300 years.
What will our Earth be like in 300 years?
Scientists are running a real race with time right now for a lot of different species in ecosystems all over the world. And a lot of the species that we get medicines from are actually endangered species.
Monica Bond with the National Wildlife Federation cites the Pacific yew as an example. Although not endangered, the tree was considered a waste species. But all that changed when it was discovered that the bark of the tree contained Taxol, one of the most promising drugs in the fight against ovarian and breast cancer.
It just goes to show that a lot of times there's incredible value for humans in a species that you wouldn't have thought of before, that was previously thought of as a trash tree. They would just sort of throw it on a slash pile and burn it. And this is something that saves women's lives.
Only 2% of the Earth's known plant species have been thoroughly examined for their chemical properties. What else is out there? And will we find it before it's lost forever? These are troubling questions to botanists like Linda McMahon.
Well, of course it concerns me that we're losing plant species. It concerns me for many reasons. One is that it's part of our heritage, that is nature and all the plants around us are part of our natural heritage, and we need to protect those in the same way that we protect our own cultural heritage, because they're part of us in many ways. But it concerns me also because plants are of value to us. As we lose plants around us, the potential for their providing something that's useful to us just gets less and less as we go along. The more we lose, the more potential we lose.